Tonight on The Learning Curve, ABC 57 answering the difficult question, just how is my child going to learn in the middle of this pandemic? We thought the best way to answer that question would be to embed one of our crews into various schools all across Michiana and provide you a raw, inside look of what those kids and parents and teachers will be going through. Tonight, our team takes a look inside the Knox Community Schools, one of the first districts to open for in-person learning in our area. Here's ABC 57's Tana Kelley.
Okay, arm length away. It's got to be an arm length away.
So happy to see your faces. I know you're smiling and glad what's happening.
Are you guys ready for your first day?
My wife and I, we had like probably a daily conversation about, okay, where are we at? What do we think? What do we want to do? And it just sort of started 3 months ago. We're like, okay, what are we going to do when they do decide to go back to school? I have one son, he's 10. He's going to be in 4th grade this year. His name's Marshall. And then we've got another son, he's 8. Silas. Yeah, he's going to be in 3rd grade this year. So
I only have one kid that's still in school. His name is Gunnar Wagner, and he's going to be a senior this year. He's so ready to get back to school. He misses it greatly. He's very active in sports.
I'm ready to see everybody. You know, we've all been cooped up. I'm ready to get out and see all my friends.
So he's just ready to get back to somewhat of a normal life, as normal as it can be for, the times that we're in.
The kids actually, before we left in March, they were asking questions about it. So they knew, they see it on TV, and they're aware of it, and they kind of almost they want you to tell them how to be safe.
I told our boys, I think you're going to be okay. I think this is something that we can get through. We're not one to back away from challenges, but at the same time, we're ones to use wisdom when we do encounter a situation. So, yeah.
I don't want to live in a state of fear, and I don't want him to either.
We're going to the high school. I'll be a senior this year. I'd rather go to school and learn, honestly. I feel like I learn better that way. You don't know what could happen, and the whole world knows that too. I mean, anything can change just like that. It all has. I'm just praying that we have sports, because that's a big part of my life. I'm just hoping that the senior year is as normal as it can be. Good morning, Maggie.
It's been very challenging in terms of what we've been able to do, and the thing that makes it the most challenging thing of all is the fact that it's constantly changing. What we decided to do in June doesn't look anything like what we are planning on doing right now.
Last spring was very different than what we're going to be doing now. It was a lot of, we upload some work for them to do, with all of it being new. It was more of a learning curve. This year, we're doing more virtual learning. So the kids are actually going to be live on an iPad, and I'm going to be teaching to them, and I'm going to get to interact with them while I'm teaching to kids in the room also.
If someone told me that we would be live streaming when I first got hired 20 years ago, I never would have believed them. I would have said, no, you're crazy. But it is, it's like part of history. I mean, going from teaching and then going strictly online, I mean, it's a big jump.
We currently have about 400 students who have signed up for the online version. That's just about 22%. We have parents, I have a list here in front of me where they're calling today wanting to change from one option to the other. So it's very fluid, and I would expect that.
We're going to go in the classroom. It's going to be different, definitely challenging to make sure that we make all those connections.
Making sure that those kids are getting the same exact education that they would be getting if they were sitting in the room. The tough part is, yeah, I'm going to see them on the computer, but it'll be 22 little boxes while I'm giving my big lesson, and you don't get that aha moment when you see it in the kid's eye, like, oh, I get it, or where they kind of fade away because they're not understanding it. That's really the hardest part.
Teaching is not only about making sure kids are learning, but that they are safe doing so inside these halls. School officials telling me that this school year will definitely look different. Everything from mask requirements to staggered lunches to separated classrooms and play spaces.
You'll see at the middle school they actually have put red tape down the hallways to try and keep kids on one side of the hallway going one direction, one side of the hallway going the other direction, with red X's in the middle so they don't park in the middle of that zone. One of the biggest changes is we've limited lockers at both the middle school and the high school. We're trying to cut down on that social distancing where kids could be right next to each other.
Make sure we're social distancing the desks. I have what I call a prepare and clean session, which is 5 minutes before my big chunks of the day, where the kids in here, they're washing their hands, they're going to get extra hand sanitizer, and those kids at home, that's when they'll be logging on their computers.
We talk to them about like the hula hoop and making sure that we're 6 feet apart and washing hands. We're going to show them how to wash hands and for how long. So we're going to spend the first couple weeks just reviewing what to do and how to be safe at school.
Even if you don't have to go potty, you're washing your hands.
We didn't know what to expect. It's something that we've never encountered before. You know, and we tried to listen to experts, tried to use our own discernment and judgment on things. But yeah, just a little hesitant. But I think the most important thing for us was we just feel like our kids need to be around other kids. They need to experience this social situation. They need to see some sort of structure in their lives.
We definitely tossed a few things back and forth, but this being his senior year, we felt it was important that he finish out in the school setting. We're doing everything we can to just keep him healthy and, you know, deal with whatever, you know, comes. I think it's very important. I mean, the kids get to be in school for such a short period in their life, and that's where you build a lot of, you know, of your relationships.
I mean, are you worried for your safety being a teacher around all these, you know, younger kids who, you know, could be irresponsible?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely in your mind, but I think our janitorial staff and everyone here, you drive by at any time, there's somebody in here cleaning, and they do such a great job, and everyone's just kind of working together to make sure it's as safe as it's going to be. I feel safer in here than I would in a store.
I'm worried that we might get people that test positive for it. I'm worried that, you know, the mask might cause issues with, you know, just sitting behind a mask. Hopefully it won't be all day, but even for part of the day, I mean, it's definitely going to be an adjustment to a lot of kids.
If somebody gets sick, how is that going to be handled? If a teacher gets sick, how will that be handled? My biggest fear would be somebody, you know, being sick from this and it being a lifelong or death situation.
When we get a positive case here, what will happen is we will take and isolate that student or staff member. They will be sent to our school nurse who will be garbed up. They are isolated from even our clinics. We have designated rooms in each of our buildings. We will then send them to their health care provider, where that health care provider will have to make a decision to test or not to test. And then that will be coordinated with our school nurse before they can return back to work or back to school. We will be able to contact trace where these students have been because we have seating charts in classrooms, we have seating charts on our buses, and so we will be able to, if somebody tests positive, the first thing we want to do is try and contain it.
So what will our schools look like going forward? Will masks and social distancing while learning be the new normal?
Now one by one, right? See how we're by three? You know how to. Remember, it's been a long time since we were in school.
Now that we've gone online, I think it's going to stick around for a while.
I do think that things are going to change as far as, you know, maybe not everything, but some things like the social distancing. I think that's just always going to be there now.
This year, you know, it's kind of crazy with all the COVID stuff. Having to wear a mask and everything. I mean, it is what it is. As long as, you know, we can have a decent, normal school year, I'm cool with it. I'll wear a mask.
I don't think that, you know, fear is necessarily a good thing to do. You have to be cautious, but you can't walk around life fearful of everything. So.
Have a good day. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Love you. Have such a good day.
Each week, we're taking an inside look at schools in our coverage area, telling unique stories from all different types of perspectives. So follow us along this journey alongside parents and students navigating school during a pandemic.
What if we do have a student that tests positive? What if we do have a student that comes in with a headache? Should these kids all be going home?
Is this really just a stomach ache? Is this really just a headache? Or do you have something more going on?
Right now we're at Culver Community Schools to give you an inside look at the nurses and how their jobs have changed because of this pandemic. Hi there.
So typically I have students that come in that need daily medicine, so they'll come in the morning.
If a student comes in with a sore throat, last year you might have given them some medication or maybe a cough drop and then sent them back to class.
Correct.
How has that changed this year?
I mean, we can't be too careful now. Prior to the pandemic, what we would assume, like if we've seen any sort of illness or anything, assuming that it may have been a common cold or allergies, we just have to look at those things differently now because the COVID symptoms are so broad and there's such a wide range of those symptoms. So now I'm asking a lot of questions that I probably wouldn't have before. Did you have your temperature checked this morning? So this is the PPE that we use.
So that's full gear, so you're protected?
Absolutely, yep. And so I have the gowns, the shields, and the gloves.
Right after speaking with Wendy, a student walked in with coronavirus symptoms, and we got to see those safety procedures put to use.
What's going on?
I need a cough drop.
Why?
My throat hurts and I have a terrible cough.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to, you know the drill. I'm going to have to call home though, okay? All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take you to the isolation room until Mom gets here. Okay, kiddo, you ready? Come on. I'm not trying. I don't want to scare you at all. It's still me under here.
So how many kids have you had to put into the isolation room?
I believe 3 at this point. I put my PPE gear on. I do take that student to the isolation room and then I call home. Hey, this is Wendy at the health office at the school. Hi, so I have here not feeling well and she said that she has a very sore throat and a bad cough and I will need, yeah. So is there someone that can maybe come and get her? Once I call home, I let the parent know to please come to our front office. There is a window there, wear a mask, and then at that point, you know, it's up to them. I would explain the protocols after that. If they have a fever, any symptoms, check with your doctor, go to the doctor, get checked out. It's different if they've been in close contact with someone that's had COVID. That's a whole different ballgame to where then you want them to be at home quarantined for the 14 days.
How many kids and staff have had to quarantine?
I don't have the numbers right now exactly. It has been over, I would say 20 at this point.
Just to be safe kind of thing?
Exactly.
So right now the nurse has full PPE on. She's going to the isolation room where one student presented cough symptoms. Now she just wants to be safe than sorry. We don't know if it's COVID-19, but that's why she put the student into the isolation room and is now bringing her stuff.
Because you don't know, you're always, you know, thinking or trying to think at least 2 steps ahead. You know, what can I do to not only keep myself safe, but the student and other students safe?
For these nurses, each day is relatively the same, except for the major challenge of not knowing whether a student who has a cough or a sore throat actually has the coronavirus.
We don't see the same symptoms as you see in adults. Sometimes they are, but they're usually much more mild. You see a lot of, just general symptoms. I'm trying to use my best judgment when I see them. Do I think that this could be corona? I mean, if I believe that it has a possibility of being COVID, I'm going to have to send them home and have them checked out by their doctor. And I have no way of knowing without a test. I mean, that's not something, I wish that I could just have them walk in and I knew right away, but it doesn't happen that way.
So let's say a kid walks in with a cough symptom or a sore throat. What are your next steps?
Well, I'm going to check them for fever. I'm going to see if they've been, do they have history of having allergies? Do they have history of, having this cough this time of year? I mean, we're kind of trying to get the whole picture when they come in here. If it's a high chance that it's going to be COVID, they're going to go into an isolation room. We have a separate room that's set up for that. Especially with the community spread that we have right now, we expect that it's going to start showing up in our school systems. Outside, we can't control what kids do. They're going to still play with their friends. They're going to still have parties or, family gatherings, that type of thing. So they're hanging out with friends, they're probably going to share it. It's a scary thing.
In the beginning, I wasn't sure what to expect, but then I feel like I'm a mom of hundreds of kids. So you just do what you would do to protect your own kids. And that's what I do, whether it's sanitizing, making sure I have plenty of masks, and reminding the kids of washing their hands, just things like that.
Pandemics don't just go away. It's not going to be an overnight thing. So unfortunately, there's a new norm, and this is it.
It was 1 year ago this week, the very first COVID case got confirmed here in Michiana. And tonight, the Learning Curve is looking back at the widespread effect that had on students, schools, and educators across the area. ABC 57's Tana Kelley reconnecting with Gunnar, a Knox High School senior she introduced us to in her very first Learning Curve story 7 months ago.
I'd say this year we were blessed.
Right outside Knox High School,
I feel like it's starting to get back to normal, but
senior Gunnar Wagner is practicing his golf swing.
I love sports. I mean, that's honestly it has such a big impact in my life.
But 7 months ago, when we first met Gunnar and his family, he wasn't sure if sports were going to happen at all.
The last time I spoke with you, we really didn't know what to expect, what the year was going to entail, but surprisingly, it has been as normal as it can be for the times that we're in. We have had really a good year in spite of the way the world is right now.
I've been able to do every single season so far. I'm going into golf right now, but back in August I did football, and then basketball just ended.
The year wasn't perfect. About halfway through, Gunnar switched from in-person classes to virtual learning.
I think he was virtual about 6 weeks.
I did it right before Christmas break, so our girls basketball team actually did. They a team that they played one girl tested positive, so they had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Were you nervous at any of your sports?
I was nervous, yeah, but luckily we've been good. So I went virtual just because I didn't want to go through that. I wanted to have basketball, and we were in like the middle of the season, so I just wanted to stay and be able to play.
So it was your choice to go virtual?
It was my choice, yeah.
Having a choice to go virtual might have saved him and many others from lagging behind.
It's really nice, honestly, because you shouldn't fall behind if you just do your work,
Our numbers were high in our county right about that time, so for us it was a wonderful option.
Even with some bumps in the road, like taking homecoming pictures in tracksuits.
So it was just chaotic, and we ended up going in our basketball travel suits.
It's been a fairly normal school year for Gunnar and his family.
It's honestly been as normal as it can be with this COVID going on.
And COVID isn't stopping every tradition. Prom and graduation will hopefully still be a part of Gunnar's senior year.
I was worried at first, but luckily we're having it, so May 1st, and I think I'm gonna go to prom. I'll go to prom and then graduation too.
I sure hope they do. Last year as a junior, they didn't have a prom. So I'm hoping this senior year that they will follow through and be able to do what they have planned. I think it's important. I mean, who doesn't remember their prom, you know, for a lifetime? So I think it's important that the kids at least get to go for 1 year.
It's awesome knowing that we have the people that we do behind us to want us to have that. It's special.
Knox High School is even allowing 2020 seniors the option to come back and experience the prom they never had.
They're giving the seniors the option to come back because they raised money last year and we raised money last year as well.
As for after graduation, it's a new chapter.
I think I'm going to go to Purdue Fort Wayne for business management.
Despite campus tours also looking a little different.
It was kind of weird, yeah, but I mean, I've never been to college, so I mean, I don't know what normal would be like.
In the end, Gunner's mom, Rebecca, has the same dream as most parents right now. She just wants COVID to go away and her son to have a safe and healthy future.
I hope we go back to the normal that we knew before 2020 and just a successful college years.
While seniors like Gunner hope to lean on the extra life lessons they've learned through this pandemic.
So that was after the game. We played casting, and this was our senior night, and we're just all huddled up on the K and just shared that memory together.
Gunner, thank you for sharing your story with us. Coming up Thursday during a 1-hour Tracking the Coronavirus special here on ABC 57 called 1 Year Later, you can hear more from Gunner and his mom about how they're navigating the pandemic, and you'll hear from 2 larger Michiana school districts hoping to finish up this semester on a more positive note.
Schools across Michiana are finishing up one of the most difficult years ever, and the ABC 57 Learning Curve team has been right there for students, parents, and teachers, covering the most important education developments.
Yeah, from virtual learning to masks, social distancing, canceled events, sports, all the obstacles brought on by the pandemic. ABC 57's Tana Kelley and Rebecca Shrode bring us a final report card straight from the people affected the most.
This year is defined by the word transition, and we're using the learning curve to tell stories at over 25 school districts across Michiana. We spoke to students, parents, teachers, superintendents, even maintenance workers to hear about this school year. From the closure at a moment's notice of schools last March and the transition to online learning this past fall.
It was a lot harder.
To the complete reopening of schools this past spring. These kids have really dealt with the punches all school year long.
All this needs to clean.
And we were there to witness it all. So some of the people we spoke to are writing a final letter, a final report card to this year, about this year, for this year of COVID.
Dear Michiana.
Dear Michiana.
Dear Michiana.
This year has been the experience of a lifetime. It wasn't ideal. There are plenty of things we'd all change if we could, but nothing should be perfect. We grow the most in hard times, and this year was the hardest of them all. I'm just happy we got to enjoy the senior experience and at least some of its glory.
It made me sad because we couldn't see anyone's smiles because we have to wear a mask to school all day. We learned not to talk when Mommy is on the phone in her office. We had to stay 6 feet away from our best friends, and I couldn't hug my grandma.
Dealing with death and grief is made even more difficult during the pandemic because of the need to follow protocols, which causes even more isolation at a time when those grieving need the love and support of others more than at any other time. Moreover, our students have suffered other losses over this last year.
Stops, starts, and ominous uncertainty about the possibility of in-person education, and seemingly endless debates about how to navigate the unexpected circumstances and, most importantly, about what's truly best for our students.
When you shut down a school or you close a school, it really has a widespread impact. And you're not sure how that all filters and how that all touches until you have to do it. And then you realize, boy, we really are an integral part of our society and our community. Sometimes you have to make a decision quickly with the best available information and then be flexible and adaptive enough to make the changes into your decision making to what's best for the community, the students, and the staff.
A lot of times you could be looked at as the bad guy, like, oh, he's not requiring masks. Oh,
I'm absolutely the bad guy. Absolutely, I'm the bad guy. And that's okay, somebody has to be. Somebody has to make that decision.
I hope everybody has a great Monday, and I'll see you this afternoon. If you're going to breakfast, you may go.
What all of this meant for our staff was the need to put time well beyond their contract hours to make sure we were meeting the needs of our students. In some form or fashion, every one of our 750 plus employees was asked to take on additional responsibilities. It hasn't been easy, but their efforts have been nothing short of heroic.
There has been a lot of additional work to keep up with the daily cleaning and sanitizing to help prevent the spread of COVID in our schools.
This year changed my family forever. Typical learning and development was disrupted. Our children were torn from the life that they knew, time with classmates, lunch with friends, sports, and celebrations. We went from checking in once every couple weeks with long-distance friends to weekly, then daily. We felt the despair, but as a family, we commit to choosing to be hopeful.
We have learned a lot about what actually goes on in the classroom each day.
While e-learning had its many obstacles, we were forced to quickly overcome. I am somewhat glad it happened.
Thursdays, Fridays, and Tuesdays, you can join into class for questions.
We learned a lot about school at home. My mom taught me all of the math and how to read and write.
We have learned a great deal in the past year about change, flexibility, and adaptation. It seemed like every week we had new rules, guidelines in our schools.
We know that students benefit most from spending time in a classroom with a teacher, but we also know that technology is a powerful learning tool that, when harnessed correctly, can support student learning far beyond the school walls.
We learned a lot about ourselves. Life in the midst of COVID-19 has sparked fear, frustration, and anxiety all around, but it forced our family to search for strength within our own home and within ourselves.
Appreciating the life and routines we previously had. We learned a lot about how to spend more quality time as a family, infusing board games and card games into evenings. Suddenly found with all of us at home.
Quarantine defined our summer, masks defined our school year, but new perspectives guided us through it all. We may have lost or gained people in our life, but at the end of the day, we're all the better for it. We learned to love ourselves, and that's the most valuable thing of all.
The next 5 years will look like happiness because COVID is going to be over. More time with friends and family and lots more hugs.
We are now more understanding of kids staying home sick. Everyone is more cautious as far as hand washing and being aware of things you touch.
Right there's the hand sanitizer, don't forget. Should I sanitize your hands?
The next 5 years will look like a movement to me, okay? Coming into fruition, basically. Seeing young minds grow from the seed that you planted in their heads are priceless.
Which two can I recruit? Why?
It's contagious. When their fellow students see them succeeding and being successful, guess what? They want to do the same thing. I am very confident and very sure that it will eventually get back to normal. I mean, our families need this. I mean, I'm tired of wearing masks all the time. Okay, I'm tired of this pandemic. I'm tired of being enclosed all the time.
Do your homework, please.
It seems like it's every time somebody touches something, we have to go behind them and clean it. And it's a lot more work, a lot more headache on everybody, and we just want that sense of norm.
The next 5 years will look like a return to traditional school environment with added attention to students' social and emotional needs.
Like many things in our lives, education has changed too. At School City of Mishawaka, we are now fully one-to-one with devices for all students. Some things won't change, however. We will continue to prioritize the students and families we serve.
I don't believe the upcoming years will be a return to the way things were.
The next 5 years will look like a town in the wake of a hurricane. We will be picking up the pieces from this pandemic for years. Fortunately, we have learned to not only get through it, but we learned to walk arm in arm with the people we didn't know existed to take care of each other.
The next 5 years will look like whatever we make them to be. Setting your own limits, designing your own destiny, and all the seniors here at St. Joseph High School have an incredible plan for their lives. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Once you've lived through something so unexpected and so devastating, a pandemic, a death in the family, something that takes away, something that you have to grieve and learn to live with, you always have in the back of your mind. It could happen again. And so I don't think they'll take for granted the opportunity to appreciate their teachers, classmates, and that time together.
Thank you. Sincerely, Dr. Dan Applegate,
Jessica Rupert,
Paisley Gardini,
Ariana Hooks,
Darnell Johnson Sr.,
Carrie Rellis,
Dan Funston,
Wayne Barker,
Mike Garland,
Aaron Hart,
Trish Gardini, Hazley, Luciana, and Lorenzo's mom.
You know, it's been great to watch this, and at the beginning there were schools that didn't want to let you in because they weren't sure what they were doing about the pandemic, but then they started opening their doors and everybody started sharing their stories. What was the most impactful part of the past year covering the learning curve?
Well, Brian, I'm glad that they were able to bring us into this moment with them. At the beginning, I did not think in-person learning with masks and social distancing would work. I thought students, especially the younger ones, would never keep their mask on or stay 6 feet away from their friends. But time and time again, I was proven wrong. Like many, I also didn't realize the social emotional impacts this would have. But like one senior said in this piece, we grow the most from hard times. And that's nothing but the truth. Live in studio, Tana Kelley, ABC 57 News.
I love that, Tana. And if you missed any of our learning curve stories over the last year, just head over to our website, abc57.com. Scroll down and click on the Learning Curve tab. We've got some great content for you to check out.
School is back in session. We're here at Knox Community Schools, once again walking those halls, reminiscing on 2 years of living, learning, and teaching amid a pandemic. While many of us are happy to walk in those doors, be back in the classrooms in person, for many of us, there are still some hurdles. E-learning and computer screens are still a large part of your students' everyday life. But the big question now is, have things really changed since 2020?
Did you get that one?
Yes.
You'll remember these faces from ABC 57's first learning curve story back in 2020. Now, 2 years later, while the faces may not have changed, their stories certainly have.
It seems like forever ago. There was so much uncertainty at the time. Didn't know, what the next day brought us.
In my career, I spent 20 years in the classroom and now 20 years in administration, and by far the last 2 years have been the most challenging years as we've tried to go forward through these COVID issues.
I honestly thought this was something that like a year out, it would be gone. But I feel like it's just like this looming cloud of uncertainty that just kind of is hanging over us. What's the next thing? What's going to happen next?
I mean, when it first hit, everybody was down. You couldn't do much. I mean, Knox, they tried their best.
We've kept kids in school. We haven't shut down other than those first 3 months when the governor ordered things to be shut down. We came close a couple weeks ago. We were up at around 16% with our student absences. If that gets up to 20%, we're going to have to shut things down. But we were able to navigate through it, and now we're back down quite a bit.
As students returned to the classroom, they weren't the only ones learning and adapting.
The last time we talked a little bit, it was how you guys were just about to start doing that virtual learning.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you and how are you teaching now?
So if a student is quarantined or needs to stay home for a little bit of time, then I will still teach virtually. As I'm teaching my class, I'll have the computer open and they can watch me as I'm teaching. It's really nice for them that they still get the in-class experience from home. It's just really hard to keep their attention while they're at home.
I would say the biggest hurdle for me would be time. On our Canvas page where all the kids would go to, I would have to set it up every day with any poster, any workbook page. I wanted everything on that page that the kids could go through, navigate through Canvas easily.
As a teacher, we're doing double work. We're making sure that that the kids online are receiving adequate amount of education and the kids in class. Not only that, we take time out of our day to make sure everything's clean also now. So yeah, definitely adding to the work.
The teachers are the ones who really do the majority of the work in the classrooms and trying to get the kids to stay on task. And when you got so many kids missing in your class, you got to go back and catch up those kids that are gone, and it's really challenging.
What I've noticed is the kids coming back, there are gaps, but with the gaps, teachers, we do review. As we brought the kids in the beginning of the year, I could very quickly tell who was virtual and who wasn't. So right now, I have the challenge of trying to bring those kids that might not have done as much virtually last year. I'm trying to teach them the third grade skills that they didn't get last year, and trying to teach them the fourth grade skills of this year. All I have to do is 1 + 1. And then add my whole numbers. 2 + 1 is? 3. Ooh, got a couple hundreds. We notice a gap. Let's review. Let's go small group. And now that we're back to a more normal, we can do small groups. They can sit together, they can partner work, which is nice. So we are filling in the gaps. If I could tell the parents anything, it's we love your kids. We're doing everything we can. Are they a little behind? Yep, but we're working as hard as we can to make up for that gap, and we're doing everything that we think is right for your child.
Because at the end of the day, McCann's right. It really is all about the kids. But when a pandemic affects not only schools, but the entire globe, other issues aside from just education appeared.
We have trouble right now with the labor shortage, whether it's cafeteria workers or whether it's lunchroom aides or paras in our classroom or just finding substitute teachers. It's been really challenging just because of they get COVID as well, or they have found a different job that pays more money. Right now, we have nationwide a 25% turnover in just superintendents, and normally that's like 15%. So it's affected everybody from the classrooms all the way up into administration. If I have 3 bus drivers right now that get COVID or have to be quarantined, we have to shut down because we just don't have any extra bus drivers out there right now.
Supply chain shortages, sickness, and learning gaps were never issues the district planned to face 2 years ago. And now, after living and working through the consequences of the COVID pandemic, I caught up with Rebecca Wagner and her son Gunnar 2 years after we talked with them the first time.
How do you feel that the Knox Community School District kind of handled getting through the pandemic?
I really think that they did the best that they could. They tried their best to keep us in school. I know at times we had to wear masks and stuff, but they did everything they can to keep things normal.
We're going to the high school. I'll be a senior this year.
The last time I spoke with Tana, I think Gunnar was just finishing up kind of his senior year.
Good morning, Maggie.
We spent his whole academic career preparing him to go to college. There was no doubt in my mind. He did everything he could to take college classes and just be ahead of where he needed to be. And that kind of changed.
After I graduated, I thought I was going to go to college, but I decided not to. Just cost, and it was uncertain, with the vaccines, and I didn't know if I'd get the full college experience. I didn't know if it was going to be all online, and I was like, well, if it's not, then I'm just better taking online classes, not paying, But I went into the workforce, and I'm currently employed.
Do you wish you could have just went straight to college, been certain of the whole thing right away?
Where I'm at, they take care of me, so it's good. But I kind of do miss the college aspect a little bit, just like school and hanging out with your friends and stuff. I definitely have more responsibility, I feel like, where I'm at right now.
Do you wish it could have been different, or do you think there was some good for your son out of all this?
I do believe there may have been some good in it. That's weird to say, but we got more family time.
I guess the family time, yeah.
Whereas he would have probably been at school or at sports or hanging with his friends. We had a lot more time to spend together. playing board games, whatever, you know, things around the house, because it wasn't like you could just take off and go to the movies or, you know, roller skating or whatever. I mean, it was mostly just sitting around the house.
Yeah, so it kind of brought back that home life aspect.
It did, it really did. And I do think that that is the best thing that's came out of it. I think that families have had more time together.
There's been a positive. We received this ESSER money, the federal government gave us ESSER money, and we have been able to, I think here at Knox, we've gotten over $5 million between the two rollouts of that money, and that has helped us tremendously in the last 2 years, because we did a $20.3 million building project, and we've remodeled all 3 of our buildings. And in that process, we've replaced ceilings, we've increased our air quality, we're going to put new roofs this summer on both our elementary and also our middle school, and we're using that federal dollars to do that, where otherwise we'd have to go out and raise our property taxes in order to do things like that. So from that standpoint, the federal government has really helped us out. They've also provided free lunches for our students for the last 2 years, for all of our students to have and enjoy a hot lunch every day.
It's definitely not a one-man job. I as well as all the other teachers, we didn't get through it alone. You know, we had to lean on each other.
The kids, when they get super excited about a lesson or a fun activity that we're doing, that excitement kind of fuels me and it keeps me going. So the kids and their energy, it's nice to have.
While the last 2 years have changed the way we live and look at the world, it's important to remember our kids are resilient.